Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's the latest episode of the ARPG Podcast where we talk about anime and random stuff that ends up pissing us off. On today's episode, we talk about how which studio is killing itself, Metroid Dread being a game of the year, and the latest in anime. Hi, I'm Guru. That is Chewy. How's it going, Lucas?
You ventured in way too long. You paused there way too long in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Oh well, it's fine. I'm just saying.
Alright, well anyway, how's your day been?
I'm tired.
You're tired, of course you are. So can we talk about how which studio is dying?
Can we talk about how the fact that this is episode 40 or something?
I didn't know exactly what episode it is, so I just didn't say it.
I think it's episode 40. I'm probably wrong. Somebody tell me. I'm probably going to tell myself it's wrong anyways in the future, but it's okay.
But yeah, no, what I wanted to say is, which studio has ran into some problems? It begs the question, can studios survive working on passion projects or not? Because I want to give you an example of which studio, right? So which studio, over, let's just say the past couple years, right? Since Attack on Titan Season 3, right? They
helped with it, okay.
Yeah. They're doing Osama ranking, which, while getting good reviews, is not catching the eyes of people, right? So that's an issue.
It's a good,
It's good. It's good. Nobody denies it, but,
just people aren't attracted to that.
It's niche. And we're starting to see an issue. Then they got Vivi.
Esoteric.
Yeah. Then we got Vivi, which honestly did break through to a certain extent, but it clearly didn't reach the heights of other more popular shows, right?
Sorry if I mute my mic. I am just eating as well.
Yeah. And then we have The Great Pretender. Again, another really good show that was locked behind the Netflix red bars of death, and to be honest, again, it didn't get much attention.
Nope.
The only show they have released in, the past 2, maybe 3 years outside of Attack on Titan that has got loads upon loads of attention is Vinland Saga.
Oh, they worked on that. I didn't know they worked
on
that.
They did it, and they're doing Season 2 with the same staff, thankfully enough.
Oh. Well, interesting.
But the big issue is that outside of that, it's mostly just niche passion projects.
Oh, they helped with Owari no Seraph, huh?
Yeah, that was one they did years ago. By the way, I'm still reading the manga. It's actually pretty good.
Oh, yeah, no.
But I bring this up because which studio last year declined by over 40%.
They only have 34 people in their entire studio.
Oh. But no, they went down 40% to 1.24 billion yen.
Unless this article is incorrect. But...
with a total bottom line loss of over 500 million yen.
Damn.
It's got to the point where their parent company has taken over management of the studio.
Yeah, I could see
and this is rare because apparently IG Port rarely does this.
Yeah.
And now I ask this question because, again, which studio? They do not do big names. The reports were they did not want to continue with Attack on Titan. One of the main reasons they gave it up is because they just didn't want to continue with it.
I don't know. That's kind of weird.
And it's just... I'm going to ask again. Can a studio survive with just passion projects? And I don't think they can.
No, unless they, actually kick off.
Because again, look at which studio's past 3 passion projects. Great Pretender, Vivi, and now Osama ranking, alright?
Yeah.
Great Pretender, Osama ranking, they have amazing scores. I know we don't use Mal for everything, but when you're hovering at about an 8.3 after like 49,000 review after, let's see,
204,000.
Yeah. Right?
Almost, yeah.
So after a whole bunch of reviews, you're still hovering at about an 8.3. That's impressive. That's when you know you have a good show. Osama Game is hovering at an 8, not Osama Game, Osama Ranking is hovering at an 8.59.
Vivi
Nobody knows about this show.
And Vivi is 8.5 with 134.
And Vivi was the closest to breaking through, right?
Yeah.
But even then, it didn't break through as much because when we talk about the season Vivi came out with in spring this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring out the shows that aired at the same time that, let's be real, were more well known than Vivi. In spring, we had My Hero Season 5. That's going to take a lot of attention. We had the continuation of To Your Eternity. That's going to take attention. Tokyo Revengers, right?
Oh. The guy who did the voice for Kage in Osama Rankings, the same person that did Hinata and Haikyuu.
Not surprised. We had Fruits Basket, Zombieland Saga, 86.
Yeah.
Like, you could make the case that Vivi might have been the best show of that entire season. It's never going to beat anything. Here's the funniest thing. A niche show like Odd Taxi got more views than Vivi.
That's a little...
I heard more people talking about Odd Taxi than I did about Vivi.
That's a little weird.
And it isn't like Odd Taxi's that bad of a show. I believe it's getting... Yeah, it got an 8.79.
It's not bad either, yeah, but it's like, wow.
And it's just... With Witch Studio clearly in financial trouble... It really just shows that you can't just rely on passion anymore.
Which really sucks. It really does.
And it's not gonna... And here's the thing. We like, the biggest comparable is Ufotable. Because to me, Ufotable's in that same type of aura of Witch Studio in the terms of, like, the anime they produce, right? Because the anime they produce is really, really well animated.
Yeah.
And they kind of release in a...
What the hell? Give me 1 second here.
Everything alright?
No, keep going. I think
Well, the one
vacuuming. I just have to...
The one thing... Why I ain't hearing anything. The main reason why I compare Ufotable to Witch Studio is they release in a very irregular time frame, in a sense. Like, I'll give you an example. They released 2 anime in 2018. You don't see that much in studios, do you? Like, I'll give you an example. LLM in the span of 2021 has already pumped out almost 10. No, they're almost 10. So, like, Ufotable, it's not like they're releasing anime after anime, but the thing is, most of their anime is mainstream. Like, look at Ufotable. Since 2016, they've released anime for the Tales series. They've released anime for Fate, God Eater, Idolish 7 they did a music video for. Now, of course, they're doing Demon Slayer again, right? It's one of those things where I think Ufotable is a good showcase of how it isn't like straight up shows that are just passion projects, they aren't going to survive anymore. The shows may be great, and there's no denying the shows that Wit Studio released are really good. But as much as people hate it, we have to remember, you have to make money to survive, right? And if Wit Studio is, like, we know Wit Studio is bleeding money. So I really think their decision to give up Attack on Titan bit them in the ass. Don't you think? And I'm going to assume that you are dealing with something. But I'm actually going to bring up that point again. I think the decision to give up Attack on Titan bit them in the ass. And I think that because of that, Wit Studio was running into an issue. Like, there's no denying Wit Studio is very, very good at what they do, right? I mean, we can just look at their last 4 anime. Look at their last 4 major anime, which was Vinland Saga, Great Pretender, Vivi, and now an Osama ranking.
Huh? What? I just got back. What's up? Oh, I think I wrecked something. I think I wrecked my headphones. Uh-oh. That's not good. Yeah, I think I wrecked my headphones. Give me 1 second.
Represented by the 3rd season ending with the look off into the sunset. Apparently, many studios refused the offer to finish the series, not wanting to with Studios' gargantuan shoes.
Oh, okay, I think I'm back.
Okay, y'all good?
Kinda. I don't know what happened there. I just kind of bumped my headphones and then I couldn't hear anything.
Okay. So I'm going to repeat the question that I just asked.
Okay.
I think Wit Studio made a mistake giving up Attack on Titan.
Definitely.
Because whatever the reason is, and I still have never actually found a reason,
Yeah.
it feels like they went with, like, they said, okay, we can reliably keep going with shows outside of AOT. And at first it worked. Vinland Saga was the best show of 2019. It was wildly successful. But Vinland Saga worked because it was an adaptation of a manga that had years upon years of development, right?
Yeah.
Great Pretender wasn't that.
No.
And while Great Pretender, by all intents and purposes, is really fucking good, it didn't have the fan backing that Vinland Saga did. I didn't know Great Pretender was a manga. Great Pretender was a 2020 manga, right?
Oh, you didn't know that? Okay, well, yeah.
No. And then when we get to Vivi was fantastic. I mean, we talked about it last year, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, earlier this season.
Last year, but yeah.
But in April, it's not beating 86. It's not beating Zombieland Saga. Mm-mm. It's not beating My Hero. It's not beating Tokyo Revengers. Mm-hmm. So you're already losing there. And then you got Osama ranking. Like, what's Osama ranking beating this year, right?
Not much.
Like, let's just take a look at popularity, right? In popularity on AniChart, which is what I use, we got stuff like Demon Slayer Season 2, not a chance in hell. Komi-san, not a chance in hell. Mushoku Tensei, Tactopi Destiny, Platinum End, Miroku-chan, When JoJo airs, it's not beating that. 86 Part 2, nope. Even the Assassin show is more popular than that because it turns out that Assassin show's actually pretty good.
Yep.
And then we got Faraway Paladin.
Nope.
Sakugan's getting some love.
Blue Period.
Blue Period, yes. And then, like, My Senpai is Annoying.
I don't even know if they would beat Isekai Shokudo. Too.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing.
Third season.
Yes. But here's the thing. It does not matter how good a show is, right? It needs to find a way into a market. It's why we see so many shows people consider to be shit last for so long, right? Why do you think Ari Furetta's getting a second season next winter, right?
Because it actually did something and it made
it actually has popularity to it. Mm. Like, it's not a good show. It's one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
Worse.
But as we've seen with, like, all the reports, it is popular. People enjoyed it. Why, I do not know. But it's there. And that's the issue with studios running. Their shows they make, no matter how good they are, just aren't popular enough to, well, just stay there. Mm. And it's sad because, to me, this is the death of passion projects. We'll see them from time to time, but you have to do popular stuff to survive.
You do. Or at least, something that has an established...
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, like you just said, you need something that already has an established connection. Mm. But yeah, no, I just wanted to start with that because it's one of those things where, like, nobody's saying which studio's a bad studio, right? It's just which studio's not making enough stuff to connect with the audience more. Mm. Like, you see my point?
I see it. I don't... Yeah.
But before we talk about anime, I want to talk about Metro Dread for just a wee bit. Okay. So, I have a history of, like, just buying random games, right?
Yep.
I bought Persona 5 on a whim. It turned out to be one of my favorite games of all time. I consider Persona 5 Royal one of the best games of all time. Mm-hmm. And then I bought random games. I bought Disgaea 5 on a whim. It's, again, one of my favorite games of all time. The Ushiwara series, I bought the third game on a whim. And, like, I just tend to do that. I like to buy one... Yeast 7 I bought on a whim, and I really enjoyed it.
What?
Yeast 7. YS7.
Why my ass 7?
YS7.
Oh.
Yeah, YS7 Lacrimosa of Dana.
See.
I bought it just randomly and it was pretty good.
That's good.
But I did that with Metroid Dread last week. Mm-hmm. And it's become one of my favorite games of all time. And I want to preface by saying this. I've never played a Metroidvania before. Like, this is my first taste of the Metroidvania system, and I had a fucking blast.
Mm-hmm.
The worlds, the 6 worlds are all interesting. The exploration is fun. You aren't lost in such a way where it's frustrating to find where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, the one thing I will say that the game, I will say, makes very clear to do, shoot every fucking wall with a missile.
Okay.
Because the game makes it clear that, like, when in doubt, shoot a wall. And it takes the player a while to actually realize that. Because they have a lot of moments where it's literally just, oh, I'm in a wall with no things. Oh, I'm guessing there's a random fucking hole here.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say, I think the best part about Metroid Dread, the bosses are amazing. The bosses are incredible. And I want to highlight a couple just before we switch off to the weekly anime talk.
I think I actually saw one.
But I just want to highlight a couple. One is the experimental boss.
Oh. Okay. Maybe I don't know if I saw that one.
Pretty much the experiment boss is a... If you remember in Metroid Fusion, the X-Parasite... the X-Parasite is essentially...
The floating head or jellyfish thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it takes over a host, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the X-Parasite takes over Experiment 2Z57, which is actually the first boss of the game.
Okay.
So, like, the first boss of the game is called Corpius, and he's this simple boss, you know, nothing too hard.
Mm-hmm.
But, then the machines take him and start experimenting, and the X-Parasite takes him over, and the boss itself is amazing, because it's fought in this top-down style, right? So the boss is at the top of the room.
Okay.
And he's slashing at you. And the one thing I think Metroid Dread does so well is create moments of satisfaction.
Okay.
When you figure out, you know, okay, I need to do this to get over that, this to get over that, it's awesome. But the best part is they introduced a parry system.
Oh. Okay.
So in moments of boss fights, you'll have a little cinematic where a boss would attack you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to parry it. And if you parry it correctly, it then leads to you literally just pumping the fucking thing with missiles in a little cinematic piece.
Oh.
So, for example, when he does the attack, when the experiment does the attack to parry, you parry it, and then you jump on top of his head, and he runs around the map behind you while you're just laying into him with missiles.
Alright.
But I will say, the final boss is fucking amazing.
I might have to mute myself just to see what this looks like.
Yeah, take your time while I go into the final boss. The final boss is Ravenbeak. And he is one of the best final bosses I've ever fought.
Let's see. I'll have to do it on my phone. I have to mute you, not mute me, sorry.
Yeah, I'll just keep going. It's 3 phases. The first phase, the best way to describe Ravenbeak is he's punishing but fair. If you fuck up, he will beat the shit out of you. He has one attack where he'll just go with a straight lariat, but if he hits you, he'll continue that combo until you're bounced into the fucking wall. Right? But everything he does is fair. There's no real bullshit factor to him. There's not one attack where you go to yourself, oh, well, that's just unfair. Every attack has an animation. Every attack has a counter, right? So when he does the attack that he just sends a wave of energy across, you realize, oh, there's a little thing where if I time it, I can either slide under to dodge the attack, or I just morph ball, right? And then he'll send out a black ball of energy. Oh, if I power bomb, I destroy the black ball of energy, and not only that, I get missiles back. And there's just a lot of that in that boss fight, and it's energetic. I think that's the one thing I like about all the bosses in Metroid Dread. They are all energetic. They aren't frantic, so you're not, like, scared shitless like when the Emmys are chasing you. But they're frantic, they're fast-paced, and they're just fun. Ugh, have you done watching it yet?
Is the first boss the one with, like, the scorpion tail?
Yeah, that's Corpius.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, Ravenbeak is quite possibly one of the best final bosses I've ever fought, and I've fought a lot of final bosses. Ugh. But that final sequence in Dread when you're given the Metroid suit, you're just running through the whole system, just pressing the fire button, and you have a giant fuck-off laser. Oh, it's fucking great.
That's an interesting.
But yeah, no, that was my little talk about Dread. It's fucking incredible. Ugh.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's talk about anime.
Let's talk about anime.
What'd you watch this week, Chewy?
A good amount.
Ooh.
Good amount.
Shall we start with Miroku-chan?
Sure, I caught up.
You
didn't see that coming, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was.
And honestly, that really made the episode passable for me, because before then, I thought the episode was pretty weak.
Yeah, the fact that you got to go back and you're like, wasn't the, no spoilers or anything, but wasn't that person there in the first episode? Oh, okay, I see. All right.
But yeah, up until that twist at the end, I thought the episode was actually pretty weak.
Oh.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the stuff with the brother.
Oh.
Like, it just felt unneeded.
The whole he thinks she's got a boyfriend type of thing.
Yeah, that just felt weird.
Alright.
Also, Miroku-chan's mom's hot.
Oh. Oh. I mean, yeah.
But no, I think that twist really did make that episode much better in my eyes. It did show that there's more to the spirits, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. But you didn't see that coming, did you? That was crazy.
No, I didn't.
That was good. It was good. I liked how they set it up, honestly. It was well done in the manga, too, but it's like, I like the way they did it here, too. The anime presentation.
Can I talk about Fruit of Evolution just for a second?
Okay.
It's fun. Like, I'm generally enjoying my time. But there was a moment where I got a little nitpicky, right? So, in this episode, they had the girl in white hair. I forget her name. She gets punched, right? Set against the wall. You see her covered in, like, bruises and her mouth's bleeding, right? She jumps up and does an attack. And if you've paid attention to the frame, none of the bruises are there. None of the blood is there.
Lol.
And then you go back, she's covered in bruises and blood again.
Lol.
Like, I know that's a little nitpicky considering it was like the frames were like half a second each, but like when I'm noticing that shit, it's just like, come on, guys.
Game's bad. Or not game's bad. The anime's bad.
No, I actually think Fruit of Evolution's rather entertaining.
Well, not. Okay, fine. Well, fuck you. I just don't like.
I like shows that understand itself. It understands it's nothing more than trash comedy, right?
Yeah, and that's. So I'm not gonna ever.
But I also don't like. Why do you hate this show? It's doing nothing outrageous.
Sure. Nothing outrageous.
Well, what? Like, I'm genuinely curious. What makes you hate this show so much?
Just the entire premise of it's just no.
The entire premise is pretty normal, right?
I know, and it's just not well done at all. So that I didn't like it. I didn't like the comedy wasn't even good enough for me, honestly, to stick around. I was like, you know what? I get more laughs out of 4-Koma stuff than this. So I was like, no, it's not funny.
That's fair. You caught up on Kyoke Senkai?
Yep.
I did not like the ending to that last episode.
I feel like they had to kill that character just for the fact that they knew to kill that character.
To an extent, yes, but it felt like it felt like everything of the last episode before was completely fucking pointless because of it.
I also actually don't think even that death was good enough for Foil for what's his name, Ammo. To change that much and be like, well, okay, maybe the whole death part, but like I don't know. I don't.
Oh shit!
What? What's up?
Apparently, No Game No Life will make a special announcement in the upcoming monthly comic issue out on November 21st, 2021.
Nice. I'm ready.
If No Game No Life Season 2 actually happens...
I'm brink of the internet.
Yeah, I may explode. But anyway, I just think that death is pointless because it brings us back to literally an episode ago. When we should have been pushing forward, right?
But
like, it felt like they're just like, oh, let's just have a death for the sake of it so the character can, again, brood over his thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, well, wait, didn't we just do that last episode?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I find it a little silly that this ghost is an AI. I do not believe that for a second. Because we've seen how the AI robots fight. They don't fight like that. So you're telling me this random machine who, according to us, according to the series right now, is not affiliated with any military force, right?
Didn't they say it was a AI?
They said it attacked Asian and American.
Yeah, and it was very unprejudiced. So
yeah,
or so far.
So you're telling me that ghost has such advanced AI, right?
I guess. Yeah.
It just makes no sense to me, considering how the world set up its mechs already. So I'm willing to bet either A, somebody is controlling it, or B, somebody was actually inside.
At the same time, also, did they also say that the AI was like, apparently the limiters were taken off?
Yeah, but what's
the number one rule for when it comes to AI and robots usually, Marcel? At least for sci-fi rules.
What?
Isn't it so like, A, you would obey human commands, B, you would not hurt any humans, unless, and then C was like, unless it somehow was, I don't know what the rule is, it's either somehow gets in the way of either Rule 1 or Rule 2 or something. Rule 2 can be an exception.
Why are you asking me that if I don't know?
Well, that's the thing. It's AI. AI right there in that world is very, at least following sort of a little bit like the sci-fi rules there for when it comes to AI and all that. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, we got to listen to humans and stuff. We're programmed for war, but we still need to take commands and all that. We're not meant to do super hyper advanced thinking on our own. They still give us orders and all like that. But we only... Really, I feel like the AI in that case would only be enough AI to react to certain small, like, unforeseen happenings on the... reactions, that should I say. Small, minor reactions. Whereas the commanding officer that's human would still do the big whole, okay, well, we'll quickly do this as a
forget that. I don't know. It just felt weird to see this ghost seemingly able to take on two human-controlled mechs at once when the same thing couldn't be said for the military AI. It took literally a commander and 7 or 8 mechs to stop one person who wasn't even military trained.
Here's the thing, too, I was going to say as well, because they said that the AI in there would release limiters, that means it is thinking and advanced and learning at advanced rates. It is an actual free-willed AI, maybe. This is my guess.
Maybe.
And that's why it's doing so incredibly well, and that's why it's just, I don't know what its main purpose is in the end. Maybe he's still trying to figure out its main purpose. Maybe that's one of the story things behind it. But
also, one thing I want to say is, when's this chick gonna show up in the preview? Like, that one's interesting, because honestly, I think it might have been a good idea to have that chick
show up then?
Yeah.
Maybe. But who knows? Maybe she's in the next episode to just get what's his name.
No, what I'm saying is I think it would have been a good idea to maybe have that chick control Ghost.
Oh, control Ghost?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, because I don't know what's going on here. She's
She's
got her own meme, so I don't know about that.
Let's move to TALKBABPOAUTiJkGJSADJHAL Destiny just for a bit.
I haven't caught up with that one.
Episode 4 just aired. What I will say is Taylor is loving it.
Oh, that's good.
And he's saying, haha, I'm watching it, even though you didn't believe I would.
Well, good for him. Maybe this is my plan all along.
Oh, speaking of something though, you heard High Guardian Spice has been released?
Yes.
And they literally released every single episode at once.
Okay.
And I pretty much just said, this is them literally just tossing it on the ground, saying, it's there, go ahead, we're done with it.
Oh, God.
And 10 seconds in, you literally see the lines, this following program contains strong language, violence, sexual content that may not be suitable for some viewers and is appropriate for children. This content is included for mature audiences only. You're just speechless at that, right?
I'm eating.
Yeah. But I know, the one thing, TALKBABPOAUTiJkGJSADJHAL Destiny Episode 3 was interesting, simply due to the point that it really just fucks over the main character.
R.I.P.
Like, oh look, your best friend is turned into a mindless robot who only wants to destroy the, monsters. Oh look, not only is she a mindless robot with no chance of her becoming Cosette ever again, but she just so happens to be draining your life force. So, like, good luck, buddy. You got a show you want to talk about? I can continue talking.
Well, I mean, I'll just do a real quick thing on comment on Isekai Shokudo this time.
I mean, look, I admit Isekai Shokudo's really good, but what is there to compliment about that we don't say every week, right?
I'm not gonna compliment, I'm just making a comment.
Well, it's good.
Yum. On, what is it? Cream Coquettes and, what was the first one? I don't remember what the first one was of that one. That next fourth episode. It was Cream Coquettes and something else. What was the first one, Marcel?
The first episode, it was Cheesecake.
Kids Lunch.
Oh, the first one of this episode? Yeah, it was Kids Lunch, yeah.
Kids Lunch. I just wish I was a kid and just went to Japan once and had Kids Lunch once.
Don't worry, we'll be going to Japan sometime next year. Hopefully you can experience it then.
Yeah, but then it'll be weird, because they'll be like, you're not 12, you're younger, and I'll be like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm an adult.
No, I mean... Alright. Do you got anything to talk about? Because I could talk about some of the heavy hitters.
I think I watched the second episode of Komi-san, but did the third episode come out?
The third episode was just released. I think it's fan-subbed, which is good, because the fan-sub is better than the, Netflix sub. Did we mention last week about the Netflix sub? I don't think we actually ever got to that.
No, I don't think we did.
Okay, so last week, when Komi-san's first episode was released in Netflix, it was revealed that, well, the subbing itself isn't the problem. It's how it's subbed is the problem. So, a lot of people have seen the fan subbing of Komi-san. Especially episode 1. And it is loads better than the official Netflix sub. The way it translates the chalkboard scene, right? Brings out so much more emotion than the way Netflix does it with just writing words on the bottom. So, like, you know how in the chalkboard scene with the fan sub, it puts the words in a better font right next to everything she puts?
Yes.
That brings out the emotion more. And we've come to find out that the Netflix video player literally cannot do that.
That's really sad.
And it begs the question, you're a billion-dollar company. How the fuck do you have that bad of a video player?
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, does it?
Say what you want about Crunchyroll's video player. At least it can do that. At least it's good enough, right? But other than that, I mean, we can talk about Komi-san. I already talked about episode 1 and 2. I haven't watched 3 yet. It's going to be one of the best shows of the year.
The humor's on point.
Oh, the humor's great.
Did you want to talk about 86 or?
I actually want to talk about Aquatope first.
Oh,
because they had a very interesting episode.
Even though it's not part of the season.
Well, I mean, it's still airing.
Yeah, but you said last. Okay, well, I'm not gonna bring it up, but you basically.
But Aquatope, it had its 16th episode, right? And its episode was mostly focused on this character named Chia. And we met her before. She was a piece of shit. She completely dicked around the other employees, right? Because she's trying to get into the aquarium game. She wants to be a manager, right? And she went to Gamma Gamma to learn from Kukuru's grandfather, right?
Okay.
Because everybody knows Kukuru's grandfather is one of the best at running an aquarium. But of course, Kukuru's grandfather was not running the aquarium, it was Kukuru. And she did not like that. Right? And they clashed. And when they ended up working at the same aquarium, they still clash, right? And we find out that Chewy is like, she's very defensive. She wants to work. And when Kukuru takes some of her shifts because Chewy couldn't work, Chewy explodes at Kukuru, right? Then the show reveals why. Turns out Chewy's a young mother. Like, she had a kid when she was, like, around 19, 18. And her husband left. But what truly broke her is when she was working at aquarium. Her dream job, she lost it because she couldn't do both and raise her kid.
Wow.
So, when she had a chance to get back into it, she didn't tell anyone she had a kid. The only people she told were the two up, like her boss and one of the doctors there who has a kid, right? Because she still wants to be a mother, right? But she doesn't want to, like, lose her dream because of it. And you start to see, and when it's revealed that she's a young mother, you start to see, oh, now I understand why she's like this. It doesn't make the way she is right, per se, but you kind of get where she's coming from.
Yeah, okay.
And I will say, the ending scene of this episode, where she finally reveals to everyone that she has a kid, and the kid's like, I'm proud of you, Mommy, was really, really touching. So now it seems like Chewy is going to be able to open up to the others a bit more now.
Ah.
And I really liked it. I'm still wondering what the hell they're going to do for, like, the final 8 episodes, because it kind of feels like there's just been next to nothing in terms of a main story for, I want to say, 4 episodes now.
Okay, yeah.
So I hope something happens.
Marcel's
But other than that, I mean, we could talk about the big guns. Yasuhime was really good.
Mm-hmm. Did not watch that one.
I found it kind of weird that they introduced Kiramaru's daughter.
Ooh.
But I also like how much
Kiramaru's daughter. Whoa.
Yeah, he has a daughter.
Dang.
And she's like this ghostly figure now. We also saw a bit of how a couple characters were created. And apparently we had this 10-second moment of Moroha being shown to Inuyasha and Kagome, and I'm just like, that's one thing I'm a little annoyed. I wish there was more from Inuyasha and Kagome. I know they're sealed away, but we get shit from Rin being sealed in the tree almost every week.
Okay.
Couldn't we see how those two are doing? Yeah. But no, now, Toa and Setsuna have actually met Rin.
Mm.
And a lot of the story has now shifted to them not only stopping Kiramaru, but saving Rin.
Mm.
And during this, it seems that Sesshomaru is starting to open up on the idea of helping his daughters more.
Lol.
He's
I want to help my daughters more.
He's still a dick.
I'm still a dick.
Faraway Paladin.
Cunt bag. Yes, watch that.
I like it. The twist at the end of episode 3 was a little surprising. Though in hindsight, it makes you realize, oh, that's why Gus wanted him to lose.
And that's why Gus wanted him to fucking die.
Though it does make me wonder where the show's going to go from here.
It's gonna be good times.
Gonna be good times, good times.
Because it gets nice. I mean, not nice, but like it goes in a little, harder, I guess, sort of. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's, in its own right, yeah.
But no, I'm quite interested in it. It's really good. Mushoku Tensei had a decent episode. I like how it was focused on Eris. Because I'm Rudy isn't a bad character, but he gets tiring after a while.
I don't know.
Like, Rudy is a tiring character to deal with.
Marcel, if you had somebody just, observe your life, do you think you'd be tiring to them?
Yes.
Yeah. Same.
It doesn't mean I can't complain that Rudy's a tiring character.
No, he definitely is, but...
I did like they did a little bit of backstory with Paul and Giselane.
We're bad people. Yeah.
And it was nice. It felt like that episode was more just, to relax after, bunch episodes of just, going crazy.
Going crazy.
But, 86 was really good this week.
Oh.
It was rather straightforward when you think about it, because 86 this week was focused simply on really nailing it down that Shin, the Reaper, has never thought about his future.
Oh.
And now that he's with the Giad Federacy, now that he's with an army that actually cares about him, it's weird to him that he has, this ability to think of his future, right? And they really hammer that down throughout the episode. It does make me wonder when we're going back to Lena's perspective. I know there is still stuff to do. Like, I'm pretty sure I know how the season's going to end. But the one thing that really shook me in this episode is they revealed... So, remember how I mentioned Federica, the little girl, right?
Yep.
She was the Empress of the Giad Republic. You know, before the Giad became the Federacy.
Mm-hmm.
And her main goal with getting Shin and the 86 to help him is to pretty much delete the brain of her knight, Shin's cousin.
Yeah, that's the one that's doing the lead.
The one that's now, you know, one of the shepherds, you know, one of the brains the Legion captured.
Yeah.
They revealed how he got captured, and it's fucked.
Oh.
So during the revolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
While they were storming the royal family, Ernst was the person who got there. That old man who was the first people to meet the 86 when they were found, right?
Yeah.
And I was wondering in the back of my mind, wait, if she was the Empress, how'd she survive? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they kind of showed it. Ernst faked her death.
Okay.
He took this medallion of hers and showed it up to the public as like, this is the symbol that she's dead, right? So, you know, that's normal. Ernst does the right thing, keeping her alive because she's a fucking 10-year-old! Right? One problem. Her knight saw that. Her knight thought she was actually dead. Then, as the Legion surrounded him, he willingly accepted getting his head chopped off.
Because his master's dead, yeah.
There's nothing left, right?
Oh.
Yeah, that was tragic. Like, you get the happiness of Ernst doing the right thing, keeping Frederica alive, because, you know, it's a 10-year-old!
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, how the fuck was a 10-year-old the Empress?
I don't know.
Well, then you get the tragedy that because of that, Federica's greatest shame has happened. Her knight is now part of the Legion.
Wait a minute. Wait, what?
What?
Okay, no, keep going. Yeah, sorry. Keep going. All good. Oh,
that was 86 this week, and it was really good, and I'm really excited for next week.
Nice.
And other than that, the only show I think is worth talking about is how fucking good Demon Slayer is.
Oh, come on.
Like,
There's
I know...
There's more than that.
Well, what else is there for me?
Oh, for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bitch.
But, no, Demon Slayer, I will say, while the movie itself is great, I think the Mugen Train arc does better as an anime.
Not as a... movie.
No, like, Mugen Train, like, the Mugen Train arc is what the anime's covering right now. And I remember last year we had the Mugen Train movie that broke all the records.
Yeah, I said the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm thinking, while the movie's great, I think the Mugen Train arc itself does better as an anime, where it can, like, have 24 minutes, it could have, like, cliffhangers and whatnot.
Do you mean as, like, a TV series anime instead of movie anime? Okay.
Yeah. Because, like, this week, the cliffhanger is the main character finds out how to defeat the villain while in a dream. Killing himself in the dream. Seriously, he fucking just slits his head, slits his neck. That's it for me. What you got left?
World Trigger 3rd season, episode 3.
Ooh, you've been excited for that shite.
We finally got it. Finally got it, boys. So, I think I already explained it, but they gotta make it into the top B rankings, right?
Yeah, you were saying how, like, a big fight's coming.
Multiple big fights. So, this is the first of the two, I believe. But basically, they have to win. Because they need to get into the top B rankings, because they're not going to make the A's, for sure, to get into the away team. They need to at least get into the high Bs. So, this is the start of the first battle. We're fighting against some veteran teams here. Or, well, I mean, one squad is like a really veteran sniper who's well respected. And
Is it set up like the typical anime, or is it like anyone? Like, is it like, oh, the main people are like considerably weaker?
The main people are considerably weaker? What?
Is the main group, the main characters?
Yeah.
Like, are they the underdogs, or is like this just like an actual quality fight?
Okay, well, here's the thing. The main squad itself is different. Oh. Uh-oh. I hope that didn't stop the recording. Uh-oh.
Did you accidentally stop the recording?
No, my hard drive fell down. So I don't know if that stopped the recording or not. No, it's still here. Still connected, thankfully. Well, thank you, encased, or well-encased hard drive. No, so Tamakomo 2, which is the squad's name, has their own little bits of trouble, because the first main character you are introduced to, Mikomo, doesn't have high Treon levels. Treon is the energy, think of it like mana. That's what powers up their suit, that's what powers their triggers, which is like the abilities and stuff like that. He doesn't have a lot. So, like, a basic set of Treon for him is already a lot. Like, he can't use any more triggers than just the set amount, which is like, I think 4 per trigger.
So it's pretty much, as you said, just mana.
Yeah, so he has to be very, very careful. So that was his problem, and he's sort of grown because he's more, he's got teachings from people that have had low mana in the past and had problems with that, and like what they did, and he learned from shooters because he's a type of shooter himself. Sorry. Yeah, shooter, sorry. Gunner is the one with the actual guns, but
shooter.
Yeah, so he's learned from shooters to try to increase his effectiveness as a shooter itself and as a team leader and as a member of a squad. So he's found his resolve by becoming more of a support type than anything, while also just doing poke damage, basically, in this case.
So it's kind of like the idea of he's found a way to contribute.
He's found his own way to fight, basically.
Yeah.
And that was his growth story because he was lacking Treon. That's his problem. Yuma was the neighbor, right? And he's just insane. He has so much, like, battle experience out the wazoo. He's probably, like, he's the equivalent or higher of, like, any of the A rankers right now that are attacking in Border. So his problem, though, was that he... well, first off, he uses only a black trigger at first. For a little while, the black trigger being the remnants of his dad. And then now he's got accustomed to Borders triggers, like Mirrodin, the human world triggers and stuff like that, and not use his own trigger. And then also become a team with Mikomo and the third member, in that case, Chika. But he didn't have too much trouble, honestly. He just needed to learn, like, fighting, or just, like, adapt to fighting all these different types of people in Border, and doing a little bit of teamwork in that sense. He's learned to use, gathered a few, like, optional triggers, which he really likes now, and he uses a lot more. That's another thing. He had to kind of up his tech a bit. And then there's Chika. Chika's their sniper, Marcel.
Yeah.
And in the very beginning, She did not shoot a single person.
Well, then that's not a good sniper.
Yeah. And that was the thing, that everyone had this... everyone was thinking the same thing that you were. She cannot hit an actual target, like an actual person. In practice ranges, she can shoot the hell out of everything because she's been taught by a very good sniper teacher. But she hasn't shot anyone in any mock battles or any battles themselves there. These ranking wars. So everyone's underneath this impression. So then she learns to develop different types of strategies for this. One is that she equips a certain optional trigger called Lead Bullet, which doesn't do damage to actual Treon bodies when they're shot at, but instead put these lead weights attached to them, so they become like slowed heavily. So it becomes then she basically becomes more support type of sniper in the end, and she clears buildings with her incredible huge amount of Treon. She is the biggest thing of Treon at the moment, so she's like crazy amount of Treon. So when she shoots like a big old huge sniper gun, she clears like blocks of buildings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she's learned to sort of stab or trying to get over it a little bit, and the team itself, the squad, has learned to sort of revolve around that. There were some really cool strategies that were thought up. Like Mikomo actually used her Treon and used his trigger instead, and just shot this big ass asteroid at people, and they just died. It was crazy at one point. She also used a combination of Lead Bullet and Hound, and because she has so much Treon, Marcel, her, you know how the little shooters, they're like little cubes and they split into smaller cubes? Her cube is a frickin' small building or small car, Marcel. And she turns Hound on, which is the tracking type of bullet, and she puts Lead Bullet on it. Everyone who gets hit by it, it tracks down these like lead bullet shots, basically, that just nail them millions of times, and then they just become...
It's just mean.
They just become cement at that point, and they just lay on the ground.
Yeah, it's just mean.
Another one, yeah. And then now they're adding their fourth member, who is another neighbor, another big battle veteran, basically, an actual fighting experience. And so right now they are kind of a little bit of the underdogs, but not really. They've like established their footing as, hey, we're not to be messed with, type of thing.
Don't fuck with us, bitch.
And now that they added also Hughes, and now they've also, actually, I don't think they have done it yet, but this first battle is going to be huge, and the second battle is going to be even bigger. Like, the steps that they make to better themselves is incredible. But so far, the first battle has been really good. Yeah, I like it. They're setting it up.
Alrighty, well, I'm glad it continues to be good.
One more.
Ooh, what you got?
Digimon Ghost Game.
Oh,
I did not talk about this last time, and I'm so sad.
You're watching that. Yeah.
I watched the first 2 episodes already, and I forgot to mention it. Digimon Ghost Game is actually not that bad. This is a really decent season so far. So last season I felt I don't know what it was.
Last season I thought Digimon Ghost Game only had one thing.
Or last series, sorry, of Digimon. It was called Digimon App Monsters, I think. And I'm like, okay, I like the whole, it starts kind of kiddish and then it gets serious
Digimon
type
Universe
of thing.
App Monsters, yeah.
Yeah, Digimon Universe App Monsters. I like the whole aspect, like, it starts off kind of very kiddish, and then it gets more serious as time goes by, but still has that kind of, like, it's still kiddish at the same time, but it's serious at the end. I kind of like that feel.
Yeah, but, I mean, isn't that, like, what Gakuru Garashi did when it lured you in?
Yeah, Madoka Magica, and there's a lot of other stuff. But I don't think Digimon Universe App Monsters hit it very well. Honestly,
that is true.
I just didn't feel that actual final completion, basically, of like it needed to be serious type of thing. I couldn't do it with that one, unfortunately. Digimon Ghost Game feels like... do you remember Digimon... Do you remember the Digimon Tamers? When it was like... They used cards and they like slashed it through and stuff like that to give attack.
I couldn't tell you. The only one I've watched Chewy is Digimon Try when I reviewed the whole movie.
Okay. Well, Digimon Tamers, I think it was like the third one series, I think, right after 02, I'm pretty sure, was where kids had cards and they slashed through their Digivices and then they could give attacks or boosts and stuff like that. And Digimon were breaking through from the digital world, at first at least, breaking through from the digital world into the real world and causing lots and lots of chaos. Bad shit. Digimon Ghost Game is pretty much giving me the Digimon Tamer vibes, because it's Digimon, it's the little bit of a futuristic Earth where holograms and holographic images are now like a common thing. A lot more, a little bit more futuristic type of technology being used here. And as a result, I don't know why, but right now Digimon are somehow affecting this new futuristic Earth, and on some major levels. The first episode, Marcel, was based on, I think it was Clockmon or something, and he took, Clockmon, and he basically took the time from young people, stripped them of their youth, and left them to be old, withered people in hospitals, or just randomly on the ground, and like...
Dick.
Yeah, and that was the... that created a rumor or something, like a ghost rumor or a ghost story and stuff like that. This is the whole premise of it, is that these Digimon are ghosts, digital ghosts or something, or ghosts existing in the world itself and creating these ghost stories. And damn, that's like, it wasn't like even a haha funny type of she turned into a withered mummy pretty type of look. Like, she just got stripped of all her, this first victim stripped all of her youth. That was in this first episode. I was like, what the frick? And the MC gets caught into it, and his best friend gets like his school friend gets stripped of all of his youth right in front of him, and he's just absolutely terrified that he's gonna be next. But then somehow he's saved. His dad, this is another interesting one where the dad's not present type of thing, but the dad ends up giving him his Digivices or somehow in some way via a mysterious Digimon, and his first Digimon being Gamamon and all that. And then it just follows the MC as he tries to understand Digimon and tries to resolve these ghost things that are happening that are as a result of Digimon trying to materialize into the real world. The second episode actually showed off the first evolution. Oh my god, it was so simple and like kind of stereotype a little bit, like, because he's like getting wrapped up in bandages by this Digimon called a Mummy Mom in a museum. And they're being separated, and they're like... And Mummymon is actually... You may not know this, or I kind of forgot about it for a second there, too. Mummimon's actually, like... I think he's an ultimate level Digimon, so that means he's like 4 stages above the Rookie, which is what Gamamon's at. So, it's understandable that they're getting their ass kicked, because he's very powerful. And, But, like, they're being separated, and they're being, like, the MC's getting wrapped up in bandages, and the Gamamon's, like, being repelled by electricity, and he's just like, we'll eat stuff, afterwards. We'll go get food again. And he's just like, yes, I want to eat more food. I want to meet more people and stuff like that, and I want to see more things. It's like, and he's like, yeah, and then we'll eat chocolate, like Champion or whatever, chocolates. And he's like, yes, I'll eat chocolate again, and I'll protect MC, whatever his name is. And, you know, that's triggers the Digievolution. But god damn, the Digievolution scene was just clean and simple, and wow, the music just like lined up perfectly with it. Fuck. He didn't beat Mummy Mom, but he did give enough time for the MC to get back up and talk to the dude and stuff. Third episode showed off the second main character, which is this girl and stuff, and the Digimon that was protecting her, named Angoramon, who's just this big fluffy like bear rabbit thing, who's got a very different voice that I was expecting. He's a very Ikemen voice, actually. It's not what I was expecting, but yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I will say it's a show I am thinking of tackling after it's done.
I also like the contrast of how the Digimon have been resolved so far. So first one, he had to just beat the crap out of Clockmon. I'm pretty sure he just had to beat him, basically. The second one, Mummymon was not actually a bad Digimon per se. He just was very misguided with the ways that he was trying to help people, because he was a doctor and he had shown up in a museum, and he was learning Egyptian ways of how they tried to heal people and whatever. But he was learning how to do mummification instead of actually healing them. So the MC cleared that up and just told him to go observe a hospital if he wanted to know modern medicine. So he did that. The third one, however, the MC thought he could teach this Digimon a lesson because he's a prankster and all that, and that he had changed him like he changed Mummymon in the previous episode. But I think he's called Dracumon. But Dracumon at the very end actually calls him an idiot, because he had given up his source of powers, which was his eyes at first, and then he just pops out new eyes from his hands. Is like, idiot, I got more than those pairs of eyes in this city. I got lots and lots of eyes over here. And he just was like, I don't know why you let me go type of thing. And I was like, wow, okay. Does that mean that we'll see this again? Is this going to be a problem that the MC has to get over, that he sometimes just can't trust all Digimon in a sense?
Maybe.
Or is it like, I don't know. It was interesting.
I like that the show's making you ask those questions early.
Yeah, I mean, he's a kid, sure. Maybe that's one of the things that'll help him grow and stuff. But yeah, I like Digimon Gross game so far. I can't wait to see the other Digimon and their evolutions and the whatever Digidestined. And apparently, they're it looks like Gamamon has variant type of evolutions. So he doesn't have the full straight line. It looks like he can do different types.
Ghost story form.
And I'm just like, is this like Kamen Rider or something like that? Are you giving me subforms and stuff like that? Or what's going on? It looks like it's almost subform shit. But we'll see. We'll see. Alright. That's the end of my part.
Shall we call this episode then?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. It's been an hour and 13 minutes.
That's not bad for just focusing on that. Alrighty, well, we will call this episode today. Next week's episode is going to be probably just as short, since we are starting Pokemon.
More Pokemon stuff.
It's going to be fun. We're going to be celebrating the eventual release of Pokemon Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl.
More Pokemon. Oh, I need a pre-order.
But Chewy and I gotta disappear now. We will see you guys next week for more talk about anime.
What's that crackling?
Oh, that was me playing with this frog thing.
Oh, okay. Goodbye!
Oh, yeah.
Clay Thompson's number 77.
Alright, you got